Hi, Jared Volley here, creator of the Faster and Funnier stand-up comedy course. If you want a great stand-up comedy tip, then make sure that you always record your performances. A lot of new comedians, they're not recording their performances, and here's exactly why. You might think that you can remember what jokes worked and what didn't, but first off, we don't want to be that generic. We don't want to just go back and say, okay, I remember there was a laugh here and there wasn't a laugh here. If you are really passionate about great stand-up comedy, then you want to know, okay, how big was that laugh here? And what was different between how I said it, a week ago and got a huge laugh, and how I said it this week and got a really tiny laugh? You want to know what is different about those two. So you want to be able to quantify your laughter, ideally. And then you want to go back and say, what can account for either my increase or my decrease. Because if you increase your laughter from one week over the other and you didn't change the words, then you can go, okay, something changed, maybe it was momentum. However, I also want to look at my performance variables. Maybe I had a voice inflection differently, maybe I paused differently. All that stuff is stuff that you want to know if you want to master the performance of stand-up comedy. So make sure you're always recording your stand-up comedy. I know a lot of comedians will, either a voice recorder or ideally a video, because a video, you'll be watching a video and you'll notice that you're doing things that you didn't think that you were even doing when you're on stage. A lot of comedians, brand new comics that do this, will find that their mic, so you have your mic right here, right up close to your lips, you actually hear, everyone can hear, but they'll notice that as they were going, they would start dropping the mic until they were holding it almost like you were holding a beer. And the audience could barely hear them at that point. And they didn't know because they were thinking about their material. Because your focus is on, okay, what am I going to say? And, how do I say it? Especially as a new comic. As a veteran comic, things do change a lot as far as your internal dialogue. But there's not enough time in this video to talk about that one. However, that's why you want to have a video. Because you're going to see yourself do things that you did not think you were doing. Maybe you're using your right arm just sits there the whole time while you're performing on the left, and maybe that's something you find really annoying. So you go, okay, or you do the same exact every punchline. Maybe you do something with your arm, and it's called a tell. You're going to find these things if you have a video, and the worst way to do it would be, it's still better than not doing it at all, but the worst way to do it would be to actually mark on a piece of paper which jokes work and which don't, because that kind of interrupts the show, it interrupts your momentum, and also it's still subjective. So you're still thinking about your material, and then you go, okay, that joke was a 5, and maybe, if you were to review that material, you'd go, no, that was like a 3 or something, and it would change what material you think is working great and what material you think is not working really well. So to learn a lot more about how you can record your performances, and then especially what do you do once you have those recordings? How do you revise your material? We go over that in depth like crazy in our online stand-up comedy course on creativestandup.com.